The boots are unlaced, and the roar of the crowd has faded. But before they hit the highway to the next town, they need a place. A certain kind of place. A place where the character drops and the real person steps in. One where they can leave the gimmick at the door and just take the edge off. A place where the lights are dim, the music swings, but the conversation runs deep. And we don't even have to talk about championships or win-loss records. None of that comes into play. It's a place to talk about the families waiting back home, the hidden passions, what truly makes these people tick. You say no such place exists in this business, but it does. It's the Neutral Corner Lounge. Step past the velvet ropes, pull up a stool, and get in the groove with the person behind the persona. Right here at the Neutral Corner Lounge in Dallas, Texas. Pour your favorite beverage and light the smoke of your choice and enjoy some great conversation. Today on Beyond Wrestling at the Neutral Corner, we've got a guest who has spent his whole life in one of the most colorful and chaotic worlds in entertainment. But today we're leaving all of that at the door. We're here to talk about Jamie Dundee, the person, the life, the everything else that you don't know. We know all the wrestling stories, but do we really know the person? Jamie, glad to have you here. Glad to have you here, Jamie.
Am I here, man? I think I lost you.
You can't hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you see me?
I can. I got you.
We are now.
There we are indeed, Jamie. It's a pleasure to have you here. This was the one interview that I definitely wanted to have because, you know, we crossed paths years and years ago when we wore younger man's shoes, and I've never heard anyone say anything bad about you as far as your personal life. Everything that anybody ever wanted to talk about. Are you still there? I think we lost Jamie. Jamie! How'd we lose Jamie? Well, we lost Jamie. See if we can get him back. There we go. All right, here we go. Get up there.
Oh, jeez.
There we go. Hang on. We're going to get you.
My bad, bro.
No, you're fine. I don't have your video anymore, but I've got your audio.
I'm coming right now. Here it comes. I'm going to hit this button again. Welcome and all that. I'm sorry. I tried to move it so it could be a better picture, but
no problem, man. I'll redo the intro. Here you come again. Here we go.
All right, here we go. I got it now. We online and now we back.
All right, there we go. Remove, add to stage. There you are. Okay, you're back.
Yep.
All right, good. Let me get back to this intro.
Am I tall enough?
You're good, brother. You're good.
All right, man. If you can see me, all I see is like the top of my head or something.
You're good. All right, here we go. I'm gonna re-intro real quick. All right,
brother.
Jamie, thank you for coming on the show. I appreciate it. You're definitely one that I wanted to have because so many people talk about you, but they don't talk about you. Right? They don't know the inside of who you are.
Man, your idea is great, man. I've always said that. I've always said if I ever did a podcast, I would do a podcast and talk to wrestlers about anything but wrestling, and that's pretty cool.
That's right. And let me ask you a question, man.
Sure.
Your neighbors growing up in Hendersonville, man. You had Johnny Cash, the Oak Ridge Boys. What was that? Yeah. What was that world like as a kid? Because let's make no mistake, Jamie, 10-year-old to 15-year-old Jamie Dundee was fucking wild. How was it having those people? How was it having those people as your neighbors?
I mean, really, when you're 15-year-old kid, you don't look at that as like that's fucking Johnny Cash. I mean, for real, bro. I'm like now, I'm like, yeah, Johnny Cash was my neighbor, bro. You know what I mean? I mean, that's badass. But it was. I guess it's one of those things. If everybody's doing it, it's not that big a deal. You know, everybody went to school with Cash's kids. You know what I'm saying? And then the Oak Ridge Boys kids, and the William Lee Golden. You know, the Oak Ridge boy, he lived there, and it was just like the norm. You know what I mean? I mean, the school I went to in Hendersonville, Indian Lake Elementary, and all, it was all the wrestling stars kids and all the country music stars kids. You know what I mean? So you really nobody, but I guess I definitely was the wild one of all of them for sure.
When you were in your teens, I'm talking 13 to 18, what did you like to do for fun? What was a typical weekend like for you before you ever started really traveling with your dad?
Yeah, right. Yeah, the skating rink on Fridays and Saturdays, and then as I got older, I started playing pool. So I would go to Rivergate to that game land. Remember that big glass building that was down in Rivergate? It had a bunch of pool tables and video games. And that's
right off of Gallatin, right off of Gallatin Road, right?
Right off down on 2 Mile Pike in there. You know, when you get to that red light, you make a right. It was right there. I think it's still there today, actually. It's a big, huge 2-story glass building that had nothing but pool tables in it, and then it had video games on the bottom floor too. You know.
Did you ever have any legal trouble when you were a kid, when you were a teenager?
No, not really. And I still, knock on wood, I really don't get in trouble now. I guess it's because of that name, though, man. You know what I mean? For real, I mean, that Dundee name was a powerful name, bro. You know, Bill Dundee, he definitely made a statement in the world. So, you know, in Hendersonville, Tennessee, even today, when I was up to 25, 30, 35 years old, man, I had a cop pull me over in East Nashville one time. He had my identification. He goes, yeah, damn, Bill Dundee, boy, out here on the bike. And listen, bro, he took my cell phone at 35 and called my daddy and told on me. He let me go. He let me go, bro. But I mean, he called my daddy and told on me because I come out of the hood house. He didn't catch me with nothing or find nothing, but he called my daddy and told on me, man. And I tell you how I know he was talking to my daddy, because he said, I'll never forget it. He said, Mr. Bill Dundee, this here's Officer Lawrence of the Metro Nashville Police Department. He said, we got your boy out here smoking crack. He said, yes, sir, Mr. Dundee, I'm a big fan. Yes, sir. He goes, hold on one second, sir. He said, your daddy said take your punk ass to jail. I said, Dad, he's talking about daddy. I said, you can't call my daddy, mother. But he did. He called my daddy at 35 years old, man.
Well, if you could grow up anywhere other than Hendersonville, is there somewhere you would have chosen, or are you proud of your roots being where they are?
Yeah. I mean, you know, my family came from Australia. You know, my mom and dad. My dad, you know, came on a wish and a hope and a dream. You know what I mean? And packed up me and my sister, my mom, and the four of us came from Australia. They sold everything they had, you know, hoping to make it big. And if my dad's choices when he came from Australia to America to wrestle was either go to Hendersonville, Tennessee, for the Nick Goulas department, or go to Florida, or go to Michigan. Well, I believe if we would have went to Florida or Michigan was way too friggin' cold, and Florida was way too friggin' wild. You know, I believe my mama would have said, hell no, we going back home. But we went to Nashville, you know, Hendersonville, Tennessee, Nashville, and I don't know, it all just seemed to go together, man. I loved growing up in Hendersonville. Now that I'm 55 years old, I really kind of understand what it was, you know, what that was growing up in Hendersonville. You know what I mean? That's some big time stuff, bro.
Right. Absolutely. You've mentioned it twice now. You've mentioned your dad, and your relationship with your dad is one of the most talked about things in your life. And outside of anything professional, what's your dad like as a person, as a father, as a man? Tell me more about him.
He was a taskmaster. You know, he was that generation was taskmasters. You know what I mean? It was his way or no way. He smacked you in the mouth if you didn't do it right. And you know, that generation, my daddy never really told me he loved me, but you just know he loved you because he bought you a motorcycle and he pays the lights and he feeds you. You know what I mean? I mean, it's that old school generation. He would tell all the other wrestlers, hey, tell my boy I love him on the road, you know, passing through and all that. And just like he said, I was a rebellious child. I was always against the grain kind of child. So my dad, a lot of times when I saw my dad, he was just whipping my ass for something I did wrong all week when my mama told him. You know, right. I mean, my dad was kind of, I always thought he was a prick, man, but really, you know, I guess he was just doing what he thought was right.
I got to ask you, because I'm a huge proponent of THC, and here in Texas, we are fighting an amazingly hard fight to legalize all cannabis products in the state of Texas. And, I smoke probably an ounce to an ounce and a half a week, and I have for a long time. I'm 52 years old. I'm in great health. Are you guys legal in Kentucky, or what's your status there?
Yeah, now Kentucky's not legal, but they don't really. I mean, because look, every state touching Kentucky, you can go up here to, you can go to Ohio and get weed. You can go to Illinois and get weed. You can go. So I think they're fixing to jump on the bandwagon right now because they're losing all that money. Yeah, all that money's leaving our state, going to all these other states. And Kentucky's the 53rd, 4th state in the nation or some shit, man. There's only 52 states, and it's more than every single one of them. I mean, and Kentucky's a commonwealth. It's one of the very last few commonwealths, and they're just fucking ridiculous anyway, man. If the commonwealth is for the people, by the people, bro. If the police come, either one's going to jail or we're all going to jail. Don't waste the commonwealth's time or money. It's bullshit.
Well, why did you choose Kentucky, Jamie?
I didn't choose it. It chose me, a woman.
So in 2023, you revealed that your dad is suffering from late stage dementia. And that's something that no one really prepares you for. There's no manual for it. There's nothing you can learn how to deal with it. What does a day look like for you when you're dealing with that reality with your dad?
Well, I mean, my dad lives, 5 hours away from me. So I see him when I can. You know what I mean? It's one of those, sure. I guess it's cats in the cradle and the silver spoon. You know what I mean? I got grandkids and kids and wives and everything here. Like everyday life is it's everyday life. I got something I got to do every day, so I go see him on his birthday. I try to do that. And it's one of those, I'll tell you another thing you just fucking is up to me. My dad, you can set your watch by it. Every 2 weeks for the last 6 years, my dad gets the hiccups. And He gets the hiccups for 2 weeks straight. And then he stops hiccuping for 2 weeks straight. And he's done that for 6 years. Can you imagine?
That drive me nuts.
Hiccuping every day for 2 weeks straight, every few fucking minutes. Oh my God, plumb insane. It would drive me fucking, I would go insane, bro. I really would. And that's been going on. He's been to every kind of specialist, doctor, everything. Nobody can answer it. Nobody knows why, when. Nobody knows, he's changed diet. They've done everything. And every 2 weeks, his wife or girlfriend, their wife, I think, it says, you can set your watch by it. Every 2 weeks, he starts hiccuping and he doesn't stop for 2 weeks. And then they just automatically stop. It's friggin' ridiculous. Craziest thing I've ever heard.
That would drive me crazy. How is he doing right now?
Oh my God, plumb insane. Hey, listen, bro, we got an echo. We have a pretty bad echo on here. Do you have an echo on your end, or?
I do not have an echo on my end. I'm not hearing an echo on my end at all.
Let me see it. Yeah, it's really bad on mine, but I don't know if that will come across in the recording or not. But let me see. How about now? Talk to me now.
How you got now? How you got it? You got me?
Yeah, Hello? That's much better. Well, there was a little play sign. There was a little play button in the middle of my screen, and when I hit it, it took the echo away. So maybe I did something a while ago or something and made the echo start.
How's your dad doing right now? You said he's insane.
Yeah. I mean, he just hiccups, and apart from that, he's good, man. Jerry Lawler and Jimmy Hart went and visited him a few weeks ago, man. And Coco Beware goes by and visited because he lives right outside of Memphis there, and I live right here by Evansville, Indiana. So I'm about 6 hours away, So I try to catch him on his birthday for sure, and I give him a call every now and then. But it's dementia. It's a funny, weird thing. It makes they've always said it makes. I don't know how to put this. It makes people like that have never cussed in their life. When they get dementia, they cuss all the time. And, my dad was a hard ass taskmaster type of guy. Now he's real sweet and kind. And it's weird. It's like their whole life, they reverse and go backwards. I guess in a sense they do,
It's that Benjamin Button thing. You become more childlike, but at the same time, Jamie, do you think that's the dementia, or do you think that's just the aging? Because look at you, a 55-year-old you versus a 25-year-old you are two totally different people.
For sure. 100% for sure. I don't think it is age, but also people are who they are, but with that dementia, I just believe that because It's crazy. My dad, growing up, my dad was born in Scotland, and then he went to Australia, and then from Australia to America. But he never, my whole entire childhood, my life, he never talked about Scotland. He never really brought Scotland up. He left Scotland when he was 13, and he got on a boat and he floated to Australia. And then from Australia, he joined a circus, and then became a wrestler, and then came to America. But he never mentioned Scotland to me. He talked about Australia all the time. But now it's crazy in his like I love Bill room, as we call it in our family. I got an I love Jamie room. Everybody I guess got their own I love themselves room. But anyway, in his room, he has these pictures on his wall from when in school, in the 1940s and 50s in school, everybody was in the same school. You know what I mean? And then they took one picture of all the classes. And
Right.
He could name everybody in the picture, bro. He could name them, and he could like tell you who their father. Like he would say, "That's Johnny so and so, and his father was a bricklayer, and that's so and so, and his dad." And listen, bro, I never heard nothing about Scotland ever, and now it's like he knows every single name in the picture and what their parents did. It's just crazy, man. But he can't remember like last Saturday. You see what I'm saying? It's weird.
Your sister Donna. Did she have the same? And I want to ask this. So your mom Beverly and your dad Bill are both Australian. They're from Australia. I mean, your dad's from Scotland.
My dad was born in Scotland and went to Australia, met my mom, and then my sister was born in Australia, and I was born in Australia. Then we came to America when I was 4, and my sister was 8.
Okay, so did you did not pick up your parents' accent like you normally would have?
All the way up to when we first got here, like when I was 4 and 5 and 6 years old, I talked really fully Australian, mate. But I mean, being raised in the American schools and going to, growing up in Hendersonville and the Southern accent, the Southern drawl. And, I was only 4 when we got here. I had my 5th birthday. We got here in March of 1975. I was 4, and then I turned 5 years old I was 3. I turned 4 years old in June of that year. So, I've basically been here my whole life, 51 years. You know what I mean?
Did Donna have the accent?
Yeah, my sister had an accent, but I said she was 8. I'm sorry, she was 8 years older than me. She was 12. So my sister was 12 when we got here, and I was 4. So my sister had a lot of Australian. Now, once again, my sister passed away at 65 or 64 or something, but she had lost a lot of her accent because she went to American schools. When she got here at 12 years old, she would have been in 6th grade, 7th grade or something.
Right.
So she went, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and then graduate, whatever. And so, yeah, a lot of my sister's words were fully Australian. She would say water and tomato and all, and when I was a little boy, I had a full Australian accent because all the wrestlers used to give me a couple $, just to go tell another wrestler to go fuck himself because I spoke Australian, and it was funny.
What was the thing that your dad taught you, not about wrestling, but about life, that has stuck with you the most?
It would have to be, but it was the way my dad would teach it. My dad would smack you in the mouth if you didn't do it right. You know what I mean? But that's just how that worked. But it was. It's like anything. If you want it, you go get it. You know what I'm saying? You can do it. The greatest thing about America is you can be or do anything you want to do, but there's a price to pay for everything. You got to give up a lot of things to get the things you want. To become a famous movie star, an actor, a football player. You got to give up everything and just focus on that. What that is. If you want to be a football player, you play football every day. You practice every day. You join every team you can. You go to peewee ball. You go to junior high ball. You go to high school ball. You go to college ball. You hope to get drafted by the NFL. It's the same as anything. If you want it, I don't give a damn what it is. If you want it bad enough, you can chase it in America, and you can get it. Everybody will get their chance. It's just whether you know what to do with it. That separates those that do and those that don't.
Did you ever have a moment growing up, though, 15, 16, 17? Did you have a moment growing up where you thought, dude, I don't want to have fuck all to do with this world that my dad lives in? I don't want to be involved in this. Or were you just like, this is what I'm going to do?
No, it was inevitable because, my brother-in-law being beautiful Bob Eaton, my dad being Bill Dundee, it was inevitable what I was going to be. You know what I'm saying? When you're a little kid, and those are my heroes, my brother-in-law, beautiful Bob, was my hero, man. My dad's my hero. Have
you ever heard anyone say a bad word about Bobby Eaton? I can't find it.
I knew the question before you ever asked it. If someone ever said anything bad about beautiful Bobby Eaton, there's something wrong with that person.
The shitstorm.
I promise. That's something fucked up. But you will never. My wife has said to me 100 times. She said, out of thousands and thousands of posts, and you figured there would be one person that could say that. Nah, you can't, bro. You can't find that dude right there. When the world lost beautiful Bobby, they lost something, bro. I mean, that motherfucker was the shit, man.
But I'll tell you, Jamie,
one of the best heels in the wrestling business by bar none. But by God,
and never had
person you ever fucking laid eyes on, man.
And never had to open his mouth. Never had to say a word.
And never forgot where he came from. You know, he grew up in the projects in Huntsville, Alabama, man, you know, but Bobby never forgot where he came from. When Bobby Lee would go home to Huntsville, Alabama, he would go to them projects and buy all them little kids Cokes and ice cream, and just, he never forgot where he came from, man. You know, and that was the real thing about Bobby, bro.
Do you feel like, I'll tell you this, I think if you wanted to get a lot of traction and you wanted to get a lot of views, and, you know, something controversial or negative seems to draw shit nowadays, go fucking do a podcast.
That's always been.
Go do a fucking podcast. Go do a podcast. Go do a podcast and say that Bobby Eaton was a son of a bitch or he was a motherfucker. You'll get the fucking smoke. I promise you. You'll get 25 million comments telling them you're a douchebag.
Yeah, but I believe some people may even come to your fucking house.
Yes, he was that. Wait a minute. Wait. He's that beloved in the wrestling business, and you just had fucking normal Christmas, Thanksgiving dinner with him. I mean, it was just like no big deal.
Listen, I used to roll Bobby's joints when I was 12 years old. He called me Bones. He would say, Bonesy, Bobby Lee got to go on the road. Roll Bonesy, roll me some joints. And I swear, I'd roll the worst fucking joints you ever seen, and he would just put them in his fucking little holder, and he'd say, I love you, Bonesy, and he would go on the road, man. He'd never bitch and never not take them. It was fucking, Bobby is just such a humble, kind fucking person, man. If there was 50 Bobby Eatons on the planet, what a better planet it would be for damn sure. You know what I mean? I mean, for real, Bobby's one of a kind, man. There'll never be another Bobby Eaton. My daddy said, when my mama told him my sister was dating a wrestler, because believe me, that was fucking never going to happen. When my mama said it was Bobby Eaton, my dad said, I'll be a son of a bitch. She got the only fucking good one there is.
Let me, so was your dad a partaker of marijuana?
Well, my dad was a partaker of everything, but if you ask him, he never did nothing. He was perfect. You know how that generation is. I mean, I got a picture of my dad smoking a joint standing at the Admiral Bimbo Hotel in Memphis, where all the wrestlers stayed in the 70s. And somebody had took a picture. You know, you had to go get it developed and all that shit back then. Yeah. And they gave it to me when I was about 30. And I showed it to my dad, and he said, I just held it for the picture, son. I just held it for the picture.
He's not going to smarten you up, and he won't sell it, really.
No, he's never gonna say that I'm right, and he's never gonna admit that he's wrong, bro.
We're gonna brush up against wrestling for a minute, because I wanted to know this, and that is the rapper persona. How much of JC Ice was really Jamie Dundee, or how much of it was a mask that you put on?
Yeah, in a sense, it's like anybody. You can't be a character that you don't believe in. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't care what it is. Like people say, Johnny Depp. When Johnny Depp becomes the fucking pirate on the ship, he becomes a pirate. You know what I mean? So there was a lot of JC Ice, Jamie Dundee in JC Ice, because when I was a kid, you know, the Beastie Boys were just coming out, the fucking Fat Boys, Houdini, and I like the rap music, you know what I mean? I rock and roll. I love rock and roll. I've always been a rock and roller, but I grew up in Nashville, so that's country music fucking world. So, I mean, I've always been a genre of all music. I love music. Music is a way to clean the soul. I believe music has saved a lot of people's lives, probably mine included, because music is real. You can relate to it. As long as you can relate to it and it's fucking sung from the heart and it's real, you know, it'll take care of itself. But
so what are you listening?
He was one of my personas, but he was the wild part of me, man. You know, He was a crazy dude. He didn't give a fuck. We keep him put away, man. We don't bring him out much anymore because that dude, he don't care.
Right.
For
So
real. He's a real rapper, gangster motherfucker. He don't care.
what are you listening to in the car right now? If you go out and you start the
Right
car,
now,
you're headed up to Evansville.
right now, I'm fucking high as a fucking kite on Youngblood. Youngblood is the best shit going right now. You know, Ozzy passed that fucking torch to Youngblood on his deathbed. Brother, that made that kid an icon from that second on. But I love him. He's kind of like me. He don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. He doesn't write his music, or he doesn't wear his clothes, or he don't paint his nails. You know, the guy wears leather dresses. He don't give a fuck what you think about him. You know, but if you like his music, come listen to him play. I get to go see him next week, May the 7th. I get to ride out there to Indianapolis and go backstage and meet Youngblood, bro. I'm just fucking stoked about it. I think it'll be the first time ever I'm starstruck, man.
No shit. No shit. That's amazing.
That dude is he is the real deal, man.
You know what I mean? Amount of talent. The amount of talent that Youngblood has is amazing, dude. The amount of talent is fucking amazing. That's awesome. Hey, did you ever find out what took the deer up into the tree? And how long did you say the deer has been in the tree?
Me and my buddy we've come down to a couple conclusions. One of the first conclusion is we think it's a bobcat, maybe. You know, it might be a.
How big is the deer?
Yeah,
how big is the deer?
It's fucking now. It's just 4 legs, a head, and a fucking spine holding a little bit of skin. But it was way. I don't think it's a bobcat. I think it's a mountain lion. We got them around here in Kentucky, man. A buddy of mine has got 3 of them on his trail cam, where there's 3 of them running together about 15 miles from here. And I just believe that fucking mountain lion something fucking climbed that tree, took that carcass up there, ate it, and then left. And it's just
what do you think's causing them, man? Because you know, even up in Arkansas, the area that I go camping in up there. You've been up Fayetteville area, Boston Mountains, Ozark area of Arkansas. Kind of up there by Bill Ash's dad's place, in Ozark, Arkansas, up there. That Paris, that kind of area.
Mountain, the Ozark.
Yeah. They've got, we lost Jamie again. I bet he comes back. Let's get him back. Oh, there you are. You're back. Okay.
Hello,
we lost you for a minute, but you're back.
Go nowhere.
You're back. Anyway, the Ozark Mountains up there, they have got mountain lions now, and they've never had them before. Is it the same in Kentucky? Where are they getting displaced from? I wonder how they keep pushing north.
I don't know. Something's driving them. You know what I mean? From wherever the hell they're at, driving them hard away. You know what I mean? Because we ain't never had no mountain lions and bobcats around here for real. But they're here because my buddy got them on trail cam, and I seen them. And in Corden, Kentucky, about 15 miles, there was 3 of them on his trail cam at the same time, and that's very odd and unusual too. To running in that pack of 3. You know what I'm saying? They don't usually. The mountain lions usually stay by themselves and shit. But these are 3 of them, I guess, because they know that they're out of their comfort zone or whatever you want to call it. They're out of their, they're out of their where they're from.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that living in the country though has changed you? Just living out in the sticks, man.
No, but I've always wanted to. I've always been like the road and the business and all that shit is such a chaotic. When I always went home, I always wanted to be somewhere way the fuck away from everybody. You know what I mean? It was just, and when I found this place, man, I bought it, paid cash for it, and there's 6,000 acres behind me that ain't nothing but a hunting area. It's called Deer Creek Hunting Lodge. And their property touches mine, and I got the only 5 acres right here that they don't own. They own 6,480 acres or some shit around me. So there's definitely tons of wildlife out there. You know what I mean? But I mean, I got me a little gun, and we got me a flamethrower, and motherfucker, as long as they stay off my 4 acres that's cut, they'll be fine.
Hang on. All right, you motherfuckers can go to Jamie's house. Be careful. It's not the gun you need to worry about. It's a goddamn flame torch he's got going.
Yeah. And you know what is hilarious about that? A convicted felon. I'll send you the video, man. When we hang up here, I'll send you the video of me shooting in the yard. It shoots a 45-foot flame for 5 minutes straight with this backpack I got.
Shit.
Oh yeah. Listen, bro. You can take out whole fucking towns before the sniper can set up to get you, bro. And listen, you can buy them online. They're legal as everything. Even convicted felons. It shoots a fucking foot flame. So therefore, it's not illegal for a felon to own it. So everybody that's a felon, go get you one.
Dude,
Go
you
get
know,
you one,
40,
bro. They're about 1,500 to 2,000.
45 feet is a long
45,
fucking
I'll
way.
send you the video, bro. I'm gonna send you the video when we hang up. You're gonna
Holy
shit your
shit.
pants. This fucking thing is so much power. But listen, it's half kerosene and half gasoline, and it mixes in this chamber. And when you push this fucking button, bro, 45-foot flame. And if you fill the backpack up, which is about 6 or 8 gallons of that fucking napalm or whatever you want to call it, that son of a bitch will shoot that 45-foot flame for 5 minutes straight. That is the video I'm going to send you is about 6 seconds. Can you imagine? Wait till you see it. You imagine 5 minutes straight with a 45-foot flame. It's unfucking believable, man. I love it.
Have you had to burn off any brush on your 5 acres, took that thing out and said, let's go?
No, because like I said, it's connected to 6,000, and once it lights, it's gone. The whole 6,000's gone. But they raise their own deer there, and it's one of them hunting places where like people from up north can pay this guy $5,000 and come down here and guaranteed to kill a deer and all that bullshit. It's not really good. It's not real hunting, but it's hunting. But so I live up on it's 7/10 of a mile off the pavement to fucking until you see my house, bro. That's it. You got to go through 2 creeks and around the kill up this fucking big muddy hill. It's ain't nobody coming here if you invite them, so they damn sure ain't just gonna wander up here.
That's why I have a Jeep, right? That's exactly why I have a Jeep.
I had a Jeep. Yeah, I got a couple of Dodge. I got a big Dodge 2500 now, and I got me a fucking little Silverado the other day. I bought me a Silverado to run around my yard in.
What are you doing? What are you doing for work now, Jamie?
I don't do nothing, man. I don't have to really. My wife works a few days a week. All I got to pay is a light bill. Everything else I got's paid for. Knock on wood, finally. And so I don't have to do nothing really.
Right? Did you think that? I want to ask about your grandchildren a minute, because that's I know a very important part of your life. Are you using that 5 acres to take them out and teach them about being outdoors?
Well, I mean, it's funny to say that, but fuck, I can't teach them because I don't know. I'm learning.
Really?
I lived my whole entire life in a vehicle traveling the fucking road since I was 14 or 15 years old, 7 days a week. And now that fuck. Well, I'm learning too. I burned it like I got 3 campers and a campground spot, and I got fucking a fire pit. We make s'mores and marshmallows, and I'm learning too, bro. For real. I can't fix nothing. I don't know how to fix nothing. All I ever did was entertain. So, but I mean, it is what it is. It's life, it's life lesson learned shit.
Oh, okay. You mentioned life lesson learned. What's something that you wish you would have done differently? One thing. Not in your career.
Yeah, there's a bunch of things. There's a bunch of things. not
in your career, but in life. Right. What's the one thing?
Life, like I said, when you go back to, I have a bunch of children, man, that are in different states, and they're all grown now, and we speak and all that. But like I said, to become famous in the entertainment world or infamous or whatever the fuck you want to call it, that we kind of become. You have to give up everybody and everything, like I said. And then at the young age, you don't realize that, you miss all the Christmases and all the birthdays, and because you have to try. And that goes with anything, rock music, country music, fucking anything that has to be on the road to entertain football players, basketball, whatever, anything that has to be on the road, you have to give up a lot of shit, man. And, and if I could redo it, I would try to make more time for my children. Now, especially being older, you realize that you can't get time back, bro. You can't get the 3 or 4 year old little baby girl missing her daddy. You can't get that back. You can't when you miss Christmas and birthday. You can't. You miss it all, man. And you give it up for what you believe is a great dream. Become a big star, whatever you want to look at it and call it. But really, man, none of it's worth it. None of it's fucking worth it, man. Because in the end, that's all you got. Is your family, man. You know what I'm saying? When the lights go down and the fucking the glory and the fame's gone, all you got is your family, bro. For real, man. But at 25 years old, you don't see that. All you see is you don't see the big picture in the end, man. You just see I'm going to do this. I'm going to become this. But what good is it? I mean, when you don't have nobody there to enjoy it with you in the end, what fucking good is it, for real?
Well, and that's one thing that. People ask me, they're planning on going to law school. And I'm like, don't. It's the biggest hustle in America, because when you're a lawyer, if you're doing class action litigation or you're doing any kind of big litigation, you're on the road. And I spent all those years, and it's just like me. I'm just now learning. I'm out camping all the time. I'm out fishing. I'm out riding my Jeep, stuff that I didn't get a chance to do when I was younger. That's the same thing that you're doing. Would people who knew you back in the day versus people who know you now, would they describe two totally different people?
Well, I mean, there's not many that know me now because when you live the wild, loud, rock and roll, whatever you call it, lifestyle, then that's what you hang around with is wildlife. So my life is slow. My life, yeah. I mean, a few people throughout my life have came and saw me, and they come to see me thinking that I'm the old me. You know what I mean. They don't realize that I'm old and I've grown, and I don't leave my house much anymore unless I got to. I like being home. You know what I mean. I used to not like being home. I like being on the road, but and so like people ask my wife all the time. They say, he's like, just my husband. He's quiet. He don't say nothing. We watch TV. I mean, but nobody can. All they can remember or understand is the videos they see of me or Wild Time when we were at a bar or something. But I don't. I don't act like that 24/7, 7 days a week. You know what I mean? That's just part of
Right.
the entertainment world. And now I'm just slow, and I tell everybody I'm old, and I just do what my wife and kids tell me. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it, bro.
I think I'm going through male menopause right now. Like, I think when I
Yeah,
turned
right.
50,
My wife is going through menopause, and that shit is crazy, bro.
I think I'm going through the male version. Like, when I turned 50, my check engine light started fucking coming on. It's like, God
Yeah,
damn
yeah.
it.
Well, yeah, it's crazy. It's like me and my wife have reversed roles. She's just off the chain. Don't know what she's gonna do, or whether she's gonna go to work, or she don't fucking because they cry and they're happy and they're the menopause, their emotions, and I just go around the house and do the dishes and cook or whatever the fuck I got to do, man. I'm just like I don't know. It's funny as hell as people come and say, "Damn, the roles have reversed around Dundee land."
Are you a better grandfather than you were a father?
Fuck yeah, but I think everybody is.
Sure. Yes, I believe
I mean,
that.
you know what I mean? Because it's kind of like on your third child, way more than you did on your first. So by the third child, the first child thinks you love the third child more. You're like, no, I just know what to do, fucking right and wrong now. You know what I mean? You learn the life lesson learned. It's one of those, yeah. And they say by the third child, the wife's just like, I don't even care.
Did you
you know.
when you were growing up in Hendersonville, did you fight a lot, or were you not a tough guy?
No,
You
no,
weren't
no,
that
no.
guy.
I was not a tough, but everybody convinced themselves I was, so I didn't have to fight. You know what I mean?
Got it. Got it. Yeah, sure. Sure.
Yeah, yeah, it was great. It was great, and they would convince themselves that I was tough as I was, but I didn't. I never really got in many fights at all, if any. I don't think I was always the guy that made you laugh. I'm the class clown. I'm the fucking guy that would do shit that you just can't believe I did or said.
You are part of a club that no one wants to be in. I want to talk about Austin,
All
and
right,
I want to
fair
talk
enough.
about how no, you and I have talked about it before. No parent should ever have to bury a
Never.
child. It's already fucked up that
No.
we have to bury our parents.
Right. But that's just the way it has to go for life to continue on. You know what I mean?
But for
But
Austin,
yeah,
you had to bury his son.
it was one of those things though. It's where you listen, boy, if you don't stop, it's going to kill you, man. And of course, when you're a 25, 28, 30-year-old guy, you don't think you know nothing, balls to the wall or whatever you do. And especially him got my blood in him. He's a Dundee. He damn sure, I guarantee you, it ain't gonna happen to me, motherfucker. Everything, all the drugs I did in my life as a young guy, everybody, lots of other people have OD'd on is it, and it ain't gonna happen to me. And it's just, it's one of those. I'm very angry now because it's a death that didn't have to happen. You know what I mean? It's you choose to fuck with fentanyl, man. It's a 50-50 shot. It's gonna kill you every time. And the bad problem is, just like him and lots of others, there's a wall in Washington, D.C., which his name is on, and there's hundreds of thousands of names on that wall. What happens with the fentanyl is, I was a cocaine user. You can't snort enough cocaine to fucking die. Your nose blocks up. I'm just saying, in a sense, with fentanyl, it is one of those. He had been clean for, 7, 8, 10 months, something like that, almost a year.
Did you
go right. They're just going, when they do the same amount that they did when they quit a year ago, and it's way too much. And it fucking just, it just, they found him in the bathroom, on the floor with the shower running. Well, his MO was, that was his thing. He would go to work or whatever. And then when he would go home, he would go in the bathroom, lock the door, and, get ready for the shower and do his thing, man. And all you can do as a parent is guide. That's all we can do is guide our children. We can tell them, that water's real hot. Don't put your hand in that water. It will burn you. And they'll have to put their hand in that water, me included, and everybody else. And then we realize how that burns me. But with fucking around with the drugs of today, man, it's not, you don't have another chance. When you fucking do that one, it's not like, I don't know how to explain it. It's 50-50 shot, bro. And that is fucking crazy odds. 50-50, man. You do that shot, 50% says you're going to live, 50% says you're going to die. That's awful fucking close for me, man. That's something I couldn't play. But, he was 32 years old, and that's one of them things that it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? You know better than that shit. You know what I mean? It's just, it's one of those, as a parent, you hope for the best, but you know how many times I spoke to my mom or my dad when I was on the road doing every drug known to man, and my mama would be like, I know you're doing that shit. She'd hang the phone up, and I'm sure my mama, but there's nothing my mama could, or my daddy could have said or done to change what I was going to do that night. It just wasn't going to happen. And it was just one of them fucking things, man. It just makes me angry now because he left 3 little children, fucking 4, 3, and 2, man. And they're never going to know him for a selfish act of him just wanting to get high one more time. Well, fucking smoke a joint or something, man. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just one of those, nothing you can do about it because people are who they are and they're going to do what they want to do. And especially at 32 fucking years old. But damn it, it just makes me mad, bro.
What does being a grandfather mean to you now in light of all that?
The joy of the grandchildren. I think the biggest part of being a grandfather is you can give them back. You can go, hey, they're being little fuckers here, take them back. But no, man, the love is it's a different love. It's maybe it's trying to get it right the second time. Maybe I don't know how to. It's one of those when my grandkids see me, bro, they know they fixing to have a fucking good time. Here comes the old Peepaw. He's fun as shit. He's got gummy bears in his back pocket, got gummy bears in his pocket. He got fucking, and we're going to watch things we ain't supposed to watch on YouTube if we want to. And can't nobody tell us nothing because Peepaw's here.
Is that not the fucking best? My grandson knows when Pop gets to town, dude. When Pop gets to town, he can get something that his mom and dad won't get it for him, so I'll have to do it. Oh, bro. Yeah.
That's right. And then my favorite part is wire them up on sugar and send them back to mama's about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. That way they got to stay up all night with them, just like they did us.
I've already told him, I said, look, don't stooge me off, because if you stooge me off, it's going to come to a stop. Right. You can't tell on me.
That's right. That's right. And if my kids say, listen, we're going to bring the grandbabies over, do not let them have this tonight. Fuck, that's the first thing I'm going to the store to get. By God, we're going to get gummy bears or fucking whatever it is, or cookies, whatever. Shit, come on, people got you. Fuck that. Right. Cookies never killed nobody.
Tell me about your wife. She has been credited by you as being the person who tamed the fucking lion. Tell me about your wife.
My wife is opposites always attract. You know what I mean? My wife, matter of fact, all my babies' mamas, none of them did drugs, or none of them smoked, or none of them really cussed. They were all good women. Attract. Yeah, all of them were. Yeah, right. We're the good stock of American women. You know what I mean? Get the real down to earth, cook their food. Take care of their kids, wash them, put them to bed. Do the motherly thing when they would. And I think it's the opposites attract. My wife was raised Pentecostal. My wife was raised, in the religious kind of world. Me myself, I'm not a religious kind of guy, but they believe in what they believe in, and she had a good life and a good upbringing. And of course, the first thing her family and everybody said is, have you lost your fucking mind? Jamie Dundee. They're like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Have you seen this have you seen this motherfucker on YouTube? Like, have you watched any of this shit?
Yeah. I mean, the whole 9 yards, they're like, are you fucking, you have all the people on the planet, have you seen this guy? And it
the complete opposite. The complete opposite reaction of Bill's reaction to Bobby Eaton is what they get for you.
Yeah, exactly right. 100%. Bills is like, God damn, the only fucking good one in the world, and she got him. I'll be damned. You know what I mean? There's nothing he could say. He wanted it to be somebody where he could fucking just, but it wasn't. And he was like, Bobby, a motherfucker. And then her family said, what is wrong with you? You lost your mind, lady? I mean, for real, they were like, no, you. As a matter of fact, she was 25, and her parents were like, listen, we are saying no, you are not, you're grounded. We're taking your cars. She had a child at home, 2 children at home. One was 2 and one was 4. They're like, she had her own apartment. They're like, fuck no, we don't care. You're not doing that. That dude is no way ever.
And how long have you been together now?
19 years. Yeah. 17 married, or 15. We've been married 15 and we've been together 19. And my daughter's 16. Figure that shit out.
Right.
But
let me ask you something. What are you proud? I've got a couple more questions, and I got to let you go. What are you proud of, Jamie? That has nothing to do with your public life. What are you most proud of? I would be proud of that property, because having your own 5 acres off the road, your own, dude, that is the fucking dream, man.
That is the great American dream. You're exactly right. Because fuck yeah, my wife's like, you don't understand, Jamie. The burden, the weight lifted off because we own our home. She's like, fuck it, we can come up with a light bill anywhere. But property, no $1,500 a month to rent a fucking 1-bedroom apartment or something ridiculous. Now it's crazy, man. And
property is always going to have value. It is not going to go down. And you've got something that you can leave your kids and grandkids, something tangible that you can leave to them.
That's right. So, and here's the thing. That's where I got mine. I said, when my mother passed away, and then Bobby and Donna passed away, I just went to Nashville and sold that home that was belonged to my mother. And I gave my niece and nephews money. I gave my dad money because they're my family. And I did it just like it would have been if Donna and Bobby were still alive or whatever, But I was smart enough to at least say, okay, Jamie, I spent like 160 grand in like 35 days or something. But I was smart enough to buy my land, buy my vehicles, buy my motorcycles, buy all the shit I wanted up front, because I knew, I know me, I didn't fucking take the whole family to Florida and fucking whatever, because I live for today, bro. I've always been that guy. I've always lived for today. I don't give a fuck about tomorrow, because tomorrow may not fucking come here. Many people I know went to bed and never fucking woke up. You know what I mean? So I live for today. People's like, well, you got to worry about 20 years. I don't worry about 20 fucking years. I worry about 20 minutes from now. You know what I'm saying? I need to walk in my kitchen. If I'm hungry, I don't want to fucking an IRA in a bank somewhere with 50 grand in it I can't touch for 25 fucking years. Fuck that. Right. I want to go get a sandwich now. You know what I mean? I live for today, bro. But I guess what I'm most proud of, him, to answer your question, would be, I guess that to leave the starlight, to leave the stardom and the fucking, it's hard to go from WrestleMania to fucking Walmart. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
And there's definitely no ads in the paper says wanted fucking washed up old wrestler that used to fucking be a star. And nowhere does it say that. And me, I guess I'm most proud of beating my crack cocaine addiction that I just never thought I could beat. I just never thought I could beat it for real. And being able to let the wrestling business go, because it's so hard to let go. That's why so many wrestlers at the age of 32 to fucking 40 have OD'd and died in hotel rooms, because after their time's gone, they don't know what to do. They're just lost souls. They just walk around this planet. It's like I said, it's hard as fuck to go from WrestleMania to a greeter at Walmart. It's just really, so those that can function and carry on after the life is my hats off to you. Rick Steiner went and became a real estate agent. All kind of people went and did other things, saying outside. My buddy Kevin Thorne, he's a real estate agent now, and he let it go. I saw that Heidenreich was somebody had a video of Heidenreich, and he works at Walmart stocking fucking shelves and trucks. There is life after the entertainment world, but it's so hard to separate the two, because believe me, it's fun as fuck. I tell my kids all the time, it was really fun traveling them roads every day and people telling you how great you were and buying your pictures and putting you on a pedestal. It was fucking great, believe me. But
it definitely does something. It definitely does something for the ego, right?
Sure,
it strokes your ego.
That's where the narcissism part comes in, and that's where you start to believe Because see what people even it's a fictitious world that we live in as far as the entertainment world, because it's not really a real world. It is for an hour or two every night, but you start to believe all that shit people tell you, and then when reality hits and you have to go back to the real world, look at Sonny. She's in prison for fucking 15 years. I mean, there's just so many sad stories that don't end right at the end of the entertainment world, because nobody knows how to handle the fall from grace, bro. They really don't. And I believe I've handled the fall from grace. I believe that I kind of, first thing you got to do is like anything to get rid of an addiction. You got to change everybody and everything and move out of that city. So you don't know nobody and try again somewhere else. And the same as the wrestling. I just got away from the wrestling business and I fucking but I'll never be nothing but, you know what I mean? Sure. I mean, I don't know nothing else. It's all I know. And I'll always be a wrestler at fucking heart, but also it's time to let it go away and, try to do things. I'm like you said, I'm going to a concert. I never got to go to concerts or movies or nothing when I was a kid.
You were working.
And the reason being is my dad would say, what are you, a mark? Well, in the wrestling business, you didn't want to be a fucking mark. So I didn't want to go see no movies or concerts because I didn't want to be a mark. You see what I'm saying? But really, it's because my fucking cheap old man didn't want to give me $5 to go to the fucking concert, really.
Oh, and he had it. He had it in his pocket. Make no mistake.
Oh, yeah. When it was good for him, it was fine. But if it was something, we don't need that shit. What are you, Mark? Because he wouldn't buy me a Spider-Man thing one time because I didn't want to be a Mark.
Well, do you think though that was the last of the good parents that raised their kids to not be shitheads? Because I know they were hard on us, right? Like,
no, they were real fun. They were real hard on us. But you could smack your kid in the fucking mouth if he did something wrong. You could backhand him. But see, there always has to be a little bit of fear in respect. You know what I mean? Sure. Respect is still, there has to be a small amount of fear in there. And it was like when I was in 8th grade and they called my dad to the fucking school right there in Hendersonville to Hendersonville High School, I think. No, I was at Knox Junior High School, and the principal calls my dad to the school, and he says to Mr. Dundee, we caught Jamie in the girl's bathroom kissing a girl. And my daddy said, well, it's better than catching him kissing a guy. And the principal just went, oh, all right. Bill said, well, so what do you want? What am I here for? And he said, well, we need you to take him home because we suspended him for 3 days. And Bill said, why would you suspend him for 3 days? That's fucking what every kid wants. Why would you not make him stay here instead of sending him home? He said, that's kind of backwards. And then the principal says, well, Bill said, we'll just whip his ass. And the principal said, well, no, we're not allowed to paddle the students no more. And my dad said, have you lost your fucking mind? Why would you say that in front of this kid? He said, maybe that's true, but why would you tell him that? He said, now you're on your own, pal. He said, I don't know what to tell you, bro, but y'all are doing this totally wrong, man. You damn sure don't tell these kids that you can't whip their ass or they'll do whatever they want.
I grabbed my ankles in the 1st grade, 2nd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, and everybody knew it because you could always hear it in the hallway when somebody got their ass whipped. You could tell.
Yeah.
That was some shit,
listen, one year in 5th grade, I got my ass whipped every single day. If I didn't have a piece of homework in this fucking teacher named Mr. Helms' class, he would whip your ass. At Indian Lake Elementary, I got a paddling for every fucking assignment I did. Every day I was in the hallway getting the paddling for fucking 2 years probably. It just one lick because I'd only do one assignment. I wouldn't do the one assignment or whatever, and I get a lick. And
hey, I got it
every day of my life. It was just like I didn't care. Fucking so what? Let's get that in.
I watched that crazy interview you did when you had your shirt off like you do now. And one thing I've always wanted to ask you is on your fingers, you have tattoos on your fingers. What do your fingers say?
Yeah, it says this one here says, can you see it? Let's see where that is. Right there.
There it is. Okay.
The right one says JC Ice. It says JC on my pinky, and then it says ICE on my. And then on this left hand, it says the man, JC Ice Man. So when you put them together, and JC Ice Man. But I used to tell everybody, if JC Ice don't get you, the man will.
Nice. And then you have another tattoo that is on, I think, your bicep, and it looks like a mushroom.
Okay,
on the outside of your bicep.
Oh yeah, let me see. The ones I got is let's see. Oh, I covered the camera. Of course I did.
No, you're good.
It's on my right. Let's see. I got fucking tattoos everywhere. Got my whole chest done. This is what I tell everybody basically. My right arm is what society would consider the bad things. It's got poker on it. It's got a rebel flag on it. It's got motherfucking, it says, fuck you, I'm Bill's boy. It's got Interstate 40. It's got the devil on it. It's got my picture of me on it. Because, you know, that's me. I love me right there. See, right. So, and then my left arm is people who have passed away, people that I love. It is their names and it is signs. And, you know, it is, so I tell everybody, my right arm's hell, my left arm's heaven, and in the middle, I'm caught in purgatory in the middle, man. You know what I mean? So all the bad things that society calls bad, like WrestleMania and ECW and the word white trash and rebel flags and you know, Interstate 40, because that's where I did all my dirt, up and down Interstate 40. And of course, the devil in me, there, society considers both of those kind of bad things. And then on my left arm is, you know, all the good people in my life, the names and people that passed on. And so it's, you know, and then the American Indian is the coolest thing I think on the planet. So I got my chest done with all the Indian stuff. And because, you know, if anybody wants to cry about anything, then fucking Indians, bro. America just raped, pillaged, and plundered them motherfuckers and took everything from them. And then we celebrate it by calling it Thanksgiving. Well, I bet there's not an American Indian on this planet that celebrates Thanksgiving. I bet your ass.
Have you been out to New Mexico to see some of those reservations and shit out there, dude?
A guy named Dale Mann took us out there. I wrestled on 5 reservations out there. I got to watch the Blackfoot Indians vote in a chief, bro, that the fucking gringo white man has never been able to do.
Dude,
they let us stay and watch. But check this out, bro.
Wait. You got to watch them do that? Because that's taboo as shit to let anybody outside the tribe.
Yes, you're exactly right. The whole fucking tribe loved us, man. We wrestled for them on the reservation. But listen here, the midgets were not allowed to show up or wrestle on the reservation or even be there because midgets are considered witches.
They're devil. They're devilish.
Yeah, they're devil. So we couldn't bring the midgets on the tour. They wouldn't let them on the reservation up, but they let Dale Mann they let all of us sit way back and fucking watch them do the whole ceremony, bro. It's like a 2-day ordeal. It was the most unbelievable thing I've ever seen. That's fucking the most awesome thing I've ever seen. I think every single thing on there has feathers on it. They paint the horses up. They all paint up. They blow this green mist. They fucking dance. It was unbelievable. It was so fucking cool, man. Look, I'm getting cold chills talking about it.
Yeah.
I got to watch them vote that.
I was at a Quapaw tribe thing in Oklahoma one time, and they were fixing to do their new high chief, and they were going to be passing the torch what that was. To the high chief. And we were told that we had to leave because we were not part of the tribe.
No, yes, that's right. They do not let, no. That's like a holy ritual fucking, it's like a religious ceremony, bro. I mean, for days, and listen, they do not stop that thing until the medicine man that fucking shoots the mist and comes out of the trance and he says, it's now blessed. He saw through the eye of the eagle or ran with the fucking tie, whatever it is. And listen, bro, that thing was unbelievable to watch, man. We watched none of us left. We would watch the whole fucking thing. It was awesome. It was like a 2-day ordeal, man. It was fucking so cool.
They say it's very moving. It's very moving in turn, like it moves you because you feel what's going on.
You got to realize that if you're a religious person and you go to a Pentecostal church and someone gets the Holy Ghost, that moves them. You know, that you know what I'm saying. That's it. And the same with that, man. That watching that thing was just. Your words can't even describe it, man. For real, it was. We were on the Blackfoot Indian tribes in South Dakota,
right?
And we were on the actual, because them reservations, they got their own police department, their own laws, their own everything. They have their own. The white man, they don't let nobody come in there and do nothing, really, man.
They have a tribunal that does all of the tribunal stuff, and that's what it's kind of like military. Like the military is going to get you, and then the civilians will get you, but the military is going to get you first.
Right. Yeah, but if they do anything on that reservation crime, because the reservation has stores and banks and all kind of shit that's just for the Indians on the reservation, Right. And if they do any crimes like that, a lot of times they just keep it in-house in a sense, and they just clear it or take care of it amongst themselves. They don't let that crooked ass government in there,
Right. How do you, I've seen on a couple interviews now, you're painting your nails. Tell me about that story. What's the rub there?
Yeah, rock on, man. There was 3 kids. As a matter of fact, you being from Arkansas, you may know this story. It's Jesse Muskelly, Damien Eccles, and Jason Baldwin. They're from West Memphis, Arkansas.
All right, hang on.
The West Memphis 3.
Let me show you real quick who you're talking to. Okay. Because I'm going to do this for everybody.
Right.
This is one thing that I don't know that you've been able to know, but I'm going to show you real quick. I'm going to open this up on my computer. Just give me a minute. I'm going to show you who I am.
All right.
If you go to, I'm going to put this up on the screen for you. Let me hit this right here. We're just going to add that to the stage there. And I'm just going to search for Robb Helt. That's my name, ROBBHELT in YouTube. And we'll take the first one that comes up down here. Let's take this one right here.
Tomorrow, the three have each asked for a new trial.
Can you hear that, Jamie?
I can hear it, brother.
One of the victims
you can?
has been told 2 of the men will be released. Other
okay.
Sources say it will be
here, let's scoot up a little bit. Let me show you. There's Jesse Miskelly. Hang on.
Right.
Listen.
Now, all the evidence in the West Memphis 3 case is sitting on a conference table right now in Fort Smith. We spoke with Robb Helt with the litigation resource group in charge of handling all the evidence.
My understanding is they left prison today with their personal belongings, and they're now in custody of the Craighead County Sheriff's Department. And tomorrow there will be, my understanding is that we'll be meeting with the judge in the morning first in chambers, and then they will turn it out to a public hearing setting.
And tonight, Helt told us no matter what happens tomorrow, it will be a very important decision. Police arrested the man accused.
So I was involved in their release.
Right. That is so fucking awesome, bro.
Here's when we got him out. Check this out.
From jail is right here in our backyard.
Let me get to the interview. Here's when we opened him up. That's when we went through the hearing, and here we go.
Tonight he showed 5 News reporter Mallory Cook the evidence used in the case.
40,000 documents stacked and stuffed into boxes on a conference table in Fort Smith. This is just some of the evidence used in the West Memphis 3 case.
That's what you see here is a piece of history.
A missing persons report filed by Michael Moore's mother the day he disappeared. Damian Eccles' cold information. Handwritten notes from Eccles' original defense attorney. It's all here.
I got a call on a Saturday morning from Lori Davis, the wife of Damian Eccles.
Robb Helt with the litigation resource group worked with the Eccles defense team. He combed through thousands of documents, testimony, and evidence in an effort to clear Eccles' name.
This is one of those cases that you get that come once in a lifetime.
So there you go. So that was kind of that was what I did through my career,
man. And listen, I want everybody to know that we did not know that this fucking question was going to go to that. We did not rehearse this. This is not something that we planned. It's funny as fuck you asked that question because I have painted my nails since 1993 when them boys were arrested and put in fucking jail for fucking life on death row for something I knew they didn't do and the rest of this fucking world knew they didn't do. But the sheriff in the town needed somebody to blame it on, so they blamed it on 3 kids that had fucking fingernail polish on and listened to rock and roll music instead of wearing a John Deere hat and being fucking what they thought fit in, I guess you could say. So that is the reason I painted my nails, because society said we couldn't. And that is another thing I've always kind of bucked society, because fuck society. Don't you tell me how I can act or how I can dress or how I can walk.
How crazy is this shit?
Huge.
Okay.
How
crazy
great.
is it?
That is fucking huge.
That is so
awesome to me, bro.
This morning we're talking, and I said, hey, do you remember coming over to Madison? And you're like, yeah, you remember. We're not going to say any names of people, but you're like, hey, do you remember him? I said, dude, I live next door to him. Remember, you would come over with Sticky, and you guys would come over, and then now I ask you a question about your nails, and it launches the West Memphis 3 thing. So yeah, that was what my career was based on.
Do you remember when you asked me, you said I'm going to ask you. I said, listen, don't ask me no questions now, because I don't like to give no answers or have to think about it. I just want to give it. And that what you said to me, I'm going to ask you about painting your nails. And I said, no, don't ask me nothing about nothing. I don't want it to be, when you ask me a question, I want to give you my opinion. I don't want to think about it or nothing. I want to give you and that is fucking crazy, bro, that you're the lawyer because that Lori, man, that she quit her firm and everything in New York and came down here and got them man out of fucking jail, bro. And that's crazy, because Bono started the movement after the HBO documentary, the fucking Robin Hood Hills murder HBO documentary. But everybody in the world knew that fucking them 3 boys didn't do that after watching that documentary, man. The only 3 kids that has ever been arrested and put on death row without no DNA evidence, no fucking nothing, bro. That was crazy.
Well, Jason, Jason lives in Austin. He's about 2 hours from me. He's doing great. Of course, Damien and Lori are up in Salem. And then Jesse is living right there in Marion, outside of West Memphis. He's still there. And the thing was, dude, the day that happened, they were wrestling in Blytheville that night. And Jesse was at the wrestling matches.
Listen, that's funny you say that, because look right here on this fucking speaker right here. It says, Rowdy Rebel says Jesse Miskelly was on the mat, not at the death site, right? See this little article right there? See?
Yep.
Okay, that article, and it says right there that Jesse Miskelly's favorite people are Brian Christopher, Ric Flair, Jerry Lawler, and Jamie Dundee. So they fucking FBI comes to our Memphis TV studio and asked me and Lawler and fucking Brian questions about whether we saw Jesse Miskelly. And like we said, listen, bro, we don't know. We may have saw Jesse Miskelly, because when we go to a lot of these towns, we don't know the people on the first 2 or 3 matches. You know what I'm saying? Right. But we can't very well say, yes, Jesse Miskelly was with us that night. We don't know. But I read your interview. I read your interview, and you said that, if I remember it correctly, you said, I can't tell you 100% definitive yes or no that he was there, but I can say that if he can tell you what happened that night, he was probably there. Yeah, right, exactly right. Because that article came out on the date says Wednesday, February of 1993, man. And so they're right in the middle of the trial. That came out in the Arkansas newspaper where I lived in Blytheville, or I lived in Kaiser, which is right by Blytheville.
Kaiser.
That came out, and I cut it out and fucking kept it all them years, man. Matter of fact, when Bono and then they started the movement about Free the West Memphis 3, they had a big webpage, and I was on that thing all the time, bro. I was commenting and shit all the time.
Who at WM3.org? Were you active?
Right, that was when internet first started.
Yeah. Were you active on the site?
Yes, I went to that site all the time and gave my opinion. And after I watched them documentaries and shit, I've always said them boys are innocent, but these motherfuckers are wrong right here just because they paint their nails and listen to rock music. And listen to this. The day Jesse Miskelly got out of prison, he sent me a friend request on MySpace, bro. Ain't that crazy?
Yeah, dude.
Or Facebook. And I was like, wow. Because see, the road dog, Jesse James, my boy, he said, that paper came out. He goes, Jamie, man, you need to write a letter to that boy. I said, obviously he loves you. You need to write a letter to him and see if he'll tell you what really happened and shit. And I, of course, no, I didn't do it. But that was just me and a road dog going up and down the road. But he's like, Jamie, man, if you write him a letter, I bet you he'll tell you. And I said, I bet you can't write him a fucking letter. I bet they won't let nothing come in or out.
They had that kid so twisted up. And everything they did to him. They
interrogated him so long that finally what they said, he just kept saying, listen, we didn't do it. We weren't there. And he finally said, I just want to go home. And they said, okay, Jesse, tell us you did it and you can go home. He said, okay, we fucking did it. And that was it, Brian. The only people ever to be put on death row without DNA evidence or a weapon or anything. They
told Jesse that he could see his dad, he could get a pack of cigarettes, and he could get some food if he told them what they needed to hear. But
that's right, if he would just confess.
But I remember filing the initial brief in 2011 that we had the entire video library of the confession. And what's crazy, and I remember citing this on page number 16, paragraph number 6, why at the 9-hour mark of his interrogation, 9 hours, why at the 9-hour mark do we take a break? Because at the 9-hour mark, Jesse is still saying, dude, I don't know what the fuck.
I don't know
they take a break. Right? They come back from the break 45 minutes later, and in the shot, there is a baseball bat that's sitting leaned up against the wall behind Jesse. Where the fuck did that come from? Were they having batting practice during the break?
Yeah, right.
No, they were scaring that fucking poor kid to death.
Why is that in the interrogation room for real?
They're scaring that fucking poor kid to death. And look, Jesse Miskelly Sr., I mean, look, some people... they just learn differently, okay? And that's okay.
Right. His IQ was very, very low. It's a proven fact that Jesse's and he was interrogated for that. And listen, Damian Eccles never even met Jesse Miskelly except that fucking night.
No.
Jason Baldwin brought him with him.
Jason was a victim of fucking circumstance. Just because he hung out with Damian 1 or 2 times, He's all of a sudden in the middle of this. Jamie, I'll tell you what, we're gonna end this show, but I think we could get together. If you've got any other friends about the West Memphis thing, you're like, hey, let's all get together and fucking run our mouths about this, talk about this show. There is a lot to talk about. I was gonna say
it's a fucking disgrace. They did not pay them boys for all the time they were locked up. You know, they're supposed to give them boys fucking compensation and every fucking thing, man.
They would have, because we were coming after the state of Arkansas. It was myself, Patrick Benka, Stephen Braga. We were coming after the state of Arkansas, and they knew that if we won that case, which we would have won in exoneration, they were going to sue the living hell out of Arkansas to the point of Arkansas couldn't have pulled themselves out.
Yeah, I read Lori's book, man. It's got all the love letters between them, but it's got a lot of information. But I mean, what they did to them 3 fucking men is a fucking disgrace in the United States of America. It's as fucking disgusting as P. Diddy's 60-month fucking sentence for raping, fucking kidnapping, driving underage kids across state line. Fuck that guy, man. He's a motherfucker. He should be dead. They should kill that motherfucker in prison right now. Fuck that dude, man. You know, he got the same amount of time I got for not paying some bitch $50 a week fucking child support. Fuck that shit, man.
I agree. I agree with you 100%. Jamie,
let's end this on a good. Hell, I'll call Jesse and we'll all get together and do it.
Hell yeah. Hey, I want to get out to Kentucky. We've got to smoke one together this year. We've got to smoke one together this year.
We'll see. Before we go, I got a smoke pot with the Rock, baby. I'll be back, man. Good talking to you, Rob, and I'll see y'all again. Time for me to go smoke pot with the Rock, baby. I'll see you, pal.
Thank you, Jamie. We'll see you, baby. Let me tell you something. That's Jamie Dundee. And guys, I don't know what to say. I met Jamie when I was 11 years old, 12 years old, and knew him as a 15-year-old. And he was typical cocky 15-year-old, and I loved him then, and I love him now, and everything in between. And so it's been a real pleasure to talk to him. My name is Rob Helt. For my producer, Smokey, behind the scenes doing all the work. This is Jackson Media Creations and Beyond Wrestling. We'll see you guys next week.